Hi, my name is Judith De La Rosa, and for my self-directed learning project, I decided to do the Google Certified Educator Level 1. The reason why I chose this is because my district uses Google Classroom as a learning management system. Back in March, when we were forced to work remotely, we were kind of thrown into using Google Classroom without any proper training. Before that day, we had never used Google Classroom before, so it was like a whole new project and trying to grasp working remotely as well. I was able to figure out how to use the program by watching little tutorial videos. And by summer, there were professional development trainings available where I was able to learn a little bit more about the program and how to use it, but not very in-depth. I felt that becoming a Google certified educator, I would not only benefit myself, but it would benefit my students as well. If I'm able to use the program correctly and efficiently, I can show my students how to use it and how to use the tools in the program. There were a total of 13 units that needed to be covered before taking the exam. And I decided for my timeline to do 1 unit per day with my start date on November 9th and finishing on November 25th. I realized around the 18th that I had a little more time available, so I was able to do 2 to 3 units for the 18th, 19th, and 20th to finish on the 20th. Once I finished, I did register for the exam. And I had read that it would take about 2 days after registering that I would be able to take it. But within about 20 minutes, I received the code to take it at that time. Originally, I was planning to use those 2 days in between to practice on a practice exam before taking the real exam. But once I got the code, I was just so nervous that I just automatically logged in without really realizing what was going to be on the exam. It was a total of 20 multiple choice questions with 11 scenarios, and each scenario had 3 to 4 little activities within it. I was nervous because I had never taken an exam that required to be recorded. So I was afraid that if I looked a certain way or stayed looking in a direction for too long, that I would get disqualified from the exam and I wouldn't be able to finish. It took about an hour and a half to complete, and after I completed, I did receive a notification that it would take about 14 business days to get the results. And after that, I became super nervous. I was afraid that I wasn't going to get the results in time. And then I started thinking about it, and then I became afraid that I wasn't going to pass. And so all these things were popping into my mind while I was waiting for the results. I did receive the results by Sunday, so I was happy to find out that I did pass. Going through this whole process, I realized that I can push myself and I can manage my time wisely, and that I don't need somebody to fully direct me in what I need to do, but I am able to do it on my own. Thinking back to before this project, I did like to learn little things, and I would watch stuff on YouTube pertaining to like hobbies and things like that. But when it comes to actual education, I've never been one to like push myself to fully do it. I've always had somebody that kind of guided me. And doing this self-directed learning, I realized that I can do it on my own. And now that I have this certification and I have gone through all of these units, I am able to help my students understand the program better and how to use the tools efficiently depending on the assignments. I wasn't aware that you can add documents to assignments where they were live, like you can see them as they're working. I would always give the assignments and just tell them, work on a slide, turn in the slide. And now I'm able to add those slides onto their assignments and watch as they're working, which is something that's very beneficial not only to me, but to the students. Because if they're not working on it, I am able to address the situation and figure out why they haven't started or why they've stopped and haven't worked on it for a couple of days. And there's a lot of other things that I've learned as well, but I just felt that that was like my biggest takeaway, especially with Google Classroom. Um, I did get certified and I'm really happy about that. But even if I didn't pass, I still felt like I have good knowledge now that I am able to help my students and prepare them if we are going to continue working remotely using Google Classroom. Now that I am also aware of how the exam is, I am a little more prepared for the certified level 2. So hopefully within the next month or two, I'll be taking that one and getting certified in that as well.